And the green ball goes to head coach Chris Baker, along with state tournament tickets from Coach Miller, our athletic director here at Pulaski County High School. Congratulations to the Warriors as they will be going to the Sweet 16.
Just get back there and holler.
All right, so, it's about almost 24.
Don't say I don't know, okay?
All right.
Come on now.
About 24 hours after winning a regional title, how does that feel? Has it all sunk in yet?
It's still like a dream. I mean, I have a tradition. I always take the trophy home with me if it's a district or region, and I never had one of these before. So I woke up this morning, I was almost afraid to roll over.
Yeah.
It was not going to be there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we drop it off at the front office this morning and let everybody come and see it. But I'm pretty sure I visited it like every hour or so just to make sure it was still real. But it's just like a dream come true.
All right, we talk about this team. We go back before the season. A lot of people didn't expect them to, win the district or even make the region tournament or make a run like that. Just talk about the team, and we've talked about this before.
Oh, this is a beautiful team. This is a team that it's hard not to root for. I mean, this is a team that nobody else wanted, for lack of a better term. These were the kids that, for the most part, outside Logan and Hunter, these were kids that were always bench players, role players, kids that raised money, kids that were practice players. And when things looked like they were going to go bad, we lost basically our entire coaching staff. We lost what people perceived as our two best players to another school, and they were left behind.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what human beings can do when they put their mind to it. And this group just decided that they did matter, that they were important, and that they did count. And they were going to be reckoned with. And they bonded together. They stayed together through every bit of adversity this season had. And there was a lot of it. We had a lot of injuries and things we just couldn't control. But they never quit. And to come in and to win a region tournament after all those things go on, it's amazing. You look up a couple of years ago, and Coach Daniels and I are the only two guys standing. Everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Coach Fraley's taking a new job. Our middle school coaches are all gone. Our bench coach is gone. Everybody. Our head coach is gone. So to go from that to this is really, it's a testament to the human spirit.
And, you talk about the 6 seniors you have. What a run they've had.
An amazing group, a very diverse group. They just find ways to win. We talked about this back in the fall. They're just winners, and it doesn't matter the odds or the adversity. They believe they're going to win. They play like they're going to win, and the bigger the challenge, the harder they fight.
Yeah, and you talk about the region tournament, that run you had. You're down pretty much most of the game in all 3 of those games and made a late run in all 3 of those games to win. So just talk about that, just the region tournament run you had.
You just said it. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. And let's face it, if you'd watched us play on Friday night in the district championship, you would have ranked us 8th out of the 8 teams in it, and that would have been fair. I have no problem with that. We were playing the 3 best teams, in my opinion. And somehow, some way, these kids, and I know it sounds like a cliche, but they refused to lose.
Yeah.
They were not going to lose.
Yes.
They kept fighting. We put a new defense in 3 days, basically, after the first game. And they played it like they've been playing it their whole life, which, again, I don't even know what to say about that. You don't expect that level of play out of kids after 3 days of practice.
Yeah.
So they were very determined. They had talked about this. And, there were signs there. I really think if Hunter doesn't get hurt and Logan doesn't have a broken foot for the entire preseason, things might have been a little bit different during the regular season. But, that's things we can't control. But we were semi-healthy going into this, and we had played a lot of good teams during the summer. We took Lexington Christian to the to absolute wire without Jonathan Gallagher playing, and they were one of the region finalists in a very tough region. We played a lot of good teams, and we saw that we were capable of it. But the run they put together in this tournament, just like you said, so many times that we're down, but it's one of those situations, and again, I'm rambling here a little bit,
You're
sorry.
Fine.
But
You go ahead.
We talked all year about we really believe everything's for a reason. Everything happens for a purpose, and it prepares you. And we had things we couldn't control, and we kept telling them, God does things for a reason. And we went through all this adversity. I mean, we played a 4 overtime game against Lincoln County. So when we went to overtime that first game, I looked at him and said, no, when have we not experienced this? We can do this all night. We can do this 3 more times if necessary. They can't. And, you know, it panned out to be true. We got down against Pulaski, and we found a way to fight back. And not only fight back, win by 9. We held one of the state's highest scoring teams to, 44 points? And then take another team who's just tremendous athletes. And Mercer County's a great ball club. Pulaski County's a great ball club. John Frey does a fantastic job with those guys. But to hold them to 42, I mean, that's a testament as much to willpower as it is physical power.
All right, guys, you know, just talk about, I noticed you went to Steak and Shake last night and celebrated team dinner, and then today I know you had a Warrior Walk. Just talk about what, you know, the perception. You probably got tons of phone calls, text messages, and just talk about what it's
you
been
get
like.
all that stuff, and it's tremendous. It is. It's something that, you know, you just try to soak in the moment. You try to enjoy it. This is my first one as a head coach. Had a couple as an assistant coach, and those were great. But to have one, you know, your first one, it's like your first child. You know, always remember it. But the things that came with it that we talked about with the kids, and seeing the joy that these kids had. I mean, that's. I told them last night, I said, when you're a parent, you'll understand. You'll buy your kid a present, and they'll just light up, and you'll feel like a king.
Yeah.
And tonight, I feel like a king because I got to see the joy in your face, and watch you celebrate. And that was the best part of it. You know, these kids have been through so much, and you know, if somebody's ever told you they don't want you, that you're not good enough, and then to win, it just makes it so much better. And to see that on their face, they understood that. Was awesome. You know, we wanted to go eat, we wanted to celebrate. We didn't really want to split up and go anywhere. Parents wanted to take their kids in certain directions, and you know, the only place that was really open at 10 o'clock was Steak and Shake. And those people opened the doors, and they were so good to us. And that's probably the best hamburger I've ever had. Just to be honest with you. Best hamburger I ever had.
All right, is there anything else you want to add?
You know, I'm happy for everybody involved. I think this community has supported this team so well. Coming into it that first year, there was some trepidation by folks. I didn't know if they were going to embrace us or not. I mean, I don't think that we were perceived very well, and that's not those kids' fault. It's not my fault, but it's just something we had to deal with. To see the turnout from our student section last night was awesome. I mean, that energy is a real thing, and those kids provided so much energy. And when we took that last picture, I told them, I said, let's have a family picture and get these kids in, and they came flooding in, and that just gives me chills even talking about. I mean, that was great. Our community support's been fantastic. My administrative support here has been tremendous. Miss Ellis, Mr. Flynn, Mr. Kress, Miss Brainerd, Mr. Gregory, those folks, if we need it, they make sure it happens. And, you know, I got to give a lot of credit for this run to my coaching staff too. Those guys have done a tremendous job. Coach Daniel's a fountain of knowledge. I mean, if we needed something, he came up with a play here and there. Coach Dalton and Coach Glover scouted relentlessly, and they gave me all the information I need to put together a game plan. We work really well together, and again, there's coaches that, you know, like myself, that have been told, well, you know, we can do better. You know, when you coach at your alma mater, and you know, the superintendent, who's one of your best friends, looks at you and says, you know, I think we can do better. That's tough. You know, Coach Daniels had to deal with that at Somerset. You know, you deal with those things, and then you come back and you win a title. Oh, telling you what, it's nice. It's really nice, and it's just very personally satisfying. And I'm happy for those guys too. They needed that validation. Coach Glover played here. Coach Dalton played here. And if you watch the video, there's not 2 more excited people than those two guys. Those two guys are truly warriors down in their soul. And they were born into it, and that's why they're here, because they have a passion for it just like I do. And I don't want to be around anybody that doesn't match my passion, and those two guys certainly do. And so does Coach Daniels. And it's just an incredible feeling. You know, we don't have the tradition. This is 25 years. This is the anniversary too. So to do it on the anniversary, it's just, I mean, it's almost like karma. And I spent, and you know, I know it sounds like a story, I spent about 25 years trying to get this job. I applied for it over and over and over. So to stand here and talk to you and hold this, that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Well, I remember, you know, to talk about personal stories, I've come to many Warrior basketball games since I was a little kid, and you know, last night, you know, that was one of the greatest finishes I've seen. I've seen many losses, but that last play and just the celebration just stands out. Oh,
it's something that I will never forget. I can watch it 15 years from now, and I'll probably break down there.